Hello and welcome. Now we are going to understand how Docker can store data permanently. Here in this video, we are going to start with the most popular Docker storage option known as Docker Volume. Let's start. First of all, we need to understand how actually Docker Volume is working. Then we will go for the practical as well. Here we have first point. Docker volumes are file system mounted on Docker container to preserve data generated by running container. As I explained you during the Docker storage introduction, that if you want to preserve data, if you want to permanently store data, then it is always good idea to store data outside of your container. Here, what we are doing, we are using Docker Volume. Actually, we are creating this Docker Volume inside Docker host. Then, when we will create any container, now this container, this particular volume will mount with this container. And this is how we can access this container, we can access this volume from the container. Now if you will remove this container, you don't need to worry about this because the container will just dismount it from the volume, and the data will be there inside the volume permanently. So this is how we can use a simple logic to store data inside the container and preserve it even if we are going to remove container. You can create volume using Docker CLI. Docker can create volume during the container or service creation. In upcoming days, when we will talk about Swarm service, we call it service, but right now we are always calling that we are creating container. So here we have two options. First, you can create volume in advance, and then while you are creating container, you can mount this container, or you can mount this volume with the container. Another option is you can create container and volume together using single command. It is up to you to which option you are going to use. We will use both to get complete idea about how the things are working. When you create volume, it is stored within the directory of the Docker host, and /var lib docker volume is a directory in which it is actually storing data. As I told you here in this picture, Docker host will have your volume, and this is the location of your volume inside Docker host. When you mount the volume into the container, this directory is what mounted into the container. Volume can be mounted into the multiple containers simultaneously. Let's say that here I have two containers, and if I am thinking to mount the same volume with C1 and C2 both, you can do this. It is kind of shared storage. If you have database server and if you want to create primary and backup server or primary and standby server, you can also create container for this, and you can create shared storage. Volume are the best way to persist data in the Docker. As I explained you, this is the most popular option available in the Docker. Now, we got complete idea about this. Now let's understand the commands related to the Docker volume. The first command we have is Docker volume ls. So here I am inside my Docker host. If I am giving command Docker volume ls, it will show me the list of all the volumes that I have. Right now it is completely new host, so I don't have any volume. Now if you want to create volume, you can give command Docker volume create. Let me give this command Docker volume create. Now it is always good idea to assign name to the volume, otherwise it will use a random numbers. So I'm going to give name, let's say that vol1. Now if I'm giving command Docker volume ls, you will find out that yes, we have one volume. Now, as you know that whenever we are creating any volume, this volume is actually created inside this particular directory. So what I am doing, I am going to this directory, cd/var lib docker volume. Okay, it is asking me no because I am logged in as a Ubuntu. So let's use sudo command. Okay, do one thing, let's log in as a root and let's find it out. So cd/var lib docker. Now ls. Here we have volumes ls, and here you will find out this directory vol1. So if you go inside this, you will get all the data which you have stored from your container. So this is how you can create container, and container is kind of directory which will be created inside this particular location. Now to display all the detail about your volume, you can give command docker volume inspect. So let's give this command. Let me go back to the Ubuntu, and here I am giving command docker inspect volume 1, and this is a detail about this, and this is a location we have for a specific volume. Now create container with volume. So we have our volume ready and we need to create container. So we are going to create this container and we are going to use volume 1. Okay, here if you want to attach volume, you need to use -v option. So let's start with this. Now here you need to understand one of the most important part of the path. So let me do this. Docker run. We are going to create the first container. So dash it dash name, giving name c1 -v. Now our volume name is vol1. Now this is the most important part. How you can store data from inside the container. So you need to mount them. Now when you are going to mount volume with the container, you have to specify path. So I am saying that here I want to mount this volume 1 with /var/storage, and we are using Ubuntu image. Then now in order to store data inside volume, I have to go to the /var storage, and then if I am going to store data here, it will store in the volume, and we have this volume inside our Docker host. So if I will remove this container, no need to worry because volume will be there as it is, and this is the location of the volume. So what I am doing, I am going to create one file vi. It will not allow me to use vi. So do one thing, let's use a cat command. Okay, cat data. Give me name. Let's say that c1. This is file created from container c1. We are testing this vol option. Okay, Control Z, and now it is stored. If I am giving ls command, I will find out this file. Now I am coming out of the container. Control P, Control Q. As you know that whenever we have any data inside the container, we will find out from here, but we have to use a...
Sorry guys, sorry to disturb you. I know you all are enjoying the session and suddenly it stopped. But if you want full video or if you want full Docker course having 130 plus videos including projects, you can become our community member. Enrollment link is in description. Moreover, we also provide 24/7 support, weekly lifetime live session with Bhavesh Atara, updates and completion certification as well. Still you have any queries regarding it, you can contact me on my personal number. Thank you.